Rick, you had your captain out for about 15 minutes. How do you assess where he is?
Yeah, I talked to him early this morning. I told him, unless you really feel half decent, in the sense that I don't want you to push it. So he went up for 15. It was a little bit of a plan. I think it's more important that if, after 15 minutes he gets off, another 24 hours, see how he feels. So it's just, it's a tough break. It's been like that for a while with Quinn. And, we're going to have to manage it.
Rick, is he doing any more harm by pushing it, by playing? Because he always pushes, he wants to play. Is he doing any more harm to his body? And if you were not in a playoff spot, would he be shut down?
Well, I don't think it's to a point where it's threatening anything. It's just, there's a little bit of pain, things like that. But we wouldn't let him play if it was physically going to hurt him, like a long-term thing. So nobody's ever really 100% at this time of the year anyways. So, but, he's a competitor. But we also, sometimes I got to intervene and, be the bad guy and say, hey, listen, the guy wants to play. We're in a dogfight, and he's just that type of guy.
So is this going to be the norm for the rest of the season then?
Well, that's where we talked today. Is it better for, I'd have to talk to the trainers. Is it better just shut him down for like 7 days, and do we get him for the last 15? I don't know at this point. We got to try to figure that out.
Okay, so how much do you have to temper his expectations with actually where you may need him the most?
Well, I think for Quinn, LA was a perfect example. He knows he's not playing it. He's before he got his hand hurt or wherever he got hurt, he was playing at a pace like MVP of the league type of pace. So now he's going to have to temper it. And I think the LA game was something like, you got to buy your time, pick your spots when to go, when not to go. And when he does, he makes a great play in the overtime goal. I think, the last couple of games he's pushing it, right? He's trying to, he wants to put the team on his back. And that, I think, sometimes affects him. So if he plays, he has to manage his, we can manage his minutes. Obviously, he wants to get out there, but he's going to have to manage when he should go and when not to. That's experience. You got to understand that.
So when will you guys decide whether or not you shut him down for a week or what is?
Well, he went off today. I haven't talked to the trainers. We obviously have to get some kind of game plan. But the way it is, it's like every team. This time of year, people play injured, and you just got to be careful if it's if we have great doctors here. If it's going to hurt him long term, he's probably not going to play.
Is it day to day?
Well, at this moment, yeah.
Will he play tomorrow or no?
I have no idea. I really don't.
And we saw Thatcher on the bench. Did he skate again today?
Yes, he skated again today.
Any idea when he'll join practice?
I'm just giving you guys a guess. If it's a couple days from now, that would be a positive. I don't know, but he has he's put some good days together. Yeah.
You have Lekkermacki up from Abbotsford. How pleased are you guys organizationally with how he's come along this season playing down there, and what sort of scoring punch do you hope he could bring getting into your role?
Well, he's doing a great job down there. He's scoring goals, almost every game. Something that we're looking for up here. A guy that can get that puck on his stick and put in the net. In these moments, I think, we're at a point where why not bring him up and give him those situations. I put him with Hedel today, a guy that can transport the puck, give him the puck down, 180 feet from the net, where he can maybe, pick that corner and make it a 3-2 game. We're looking for those third period goals. Can he supply that? We'll see.
He talked a lot to us just now about working on improving his game along the boards and in front of the net. Are the reports that you're seeing that he's understanding better what he has to do in those hard areas of the ice? Yeah,
he's getting better at it. If you talk to the Twins, they spend a lot of time with him. They develop a lot. He'll say he's got to get an inside game. I've told you guys before, you just can't stand around and take one-timers. The league doesn't just, okay, let this guy shoot it. It's look at Ovechkin. This guy, for a while there, he's getting the one-time. Now they're taking that away. Where does he score? He's around the net. He scores from everywhere. And I think he's trying to learn that right now, and I think he's really developed that. He's getting better at it.
You've had to spend a lot of time managing, the mentality, the mood of the team this season. This week with the deadline, how does that factor?
Well,
How's that a challenge for you?
Well, it's been a challenging year. There's a lot thrown at you. We all know, and I'm not going to rehash what's happened in the past, but as of today, we're in the race. You should be happy about that. There's teams that are not in the race; they're out of it. When I got here, was it 2 years ago? Those last 18 or 20, whatever games I coach, it sucked the last 10 games. You can ask the players. So, can you use that as motivation for tomorrow night against Anaheim? Can't worry about the road trip. The only thing we got to worry about is how can we flip the game when it's tied in the going into the third. For whatever reason, we can't get that good block or that good defensive play or that goal. It seems like the other team's getting it, and we have to turn that table. So use the excitement of the playoff race to give you that extra juice. That's the only way you're going to get in this thing.
What about the guys who maybe have some anxiety about their future, whether they're Brock or Hughes or whoever?
Yeah, you know, you can talk to them from experience. It's a hard one. I mean, I'm sure some guys it affects, some guys it doesn't. You try to give them experiences of, you know, footy or Gonch or myself. You know, we've been traded before. I don't think we've been traded. Well, I was traded before the deadline, but you know, you just got to control what you can control, and that's really what it comes down to. You can't waste games. Like, that's the one thing you can't. Well, I'll wait till next week. I mean, you know, tomorrow's a big game. I don't care what your situation is, you got to play a good game tomorrow.
Are you afraid it's affecting Brock?
It could be. You know, I think it could be. I mean, contract negotiations are what they are. Like I said, some guys it affects, some guys it doesn't. I don't know. I've had some talks, but we don't really talk. You know, it's not my lane. Contract. I can tell him from experience, but for him, it's like, you know, you got a shot in the slot, man. You can't pass those pucks. You got to shoot it. That's the stuff we talk about, and he understands that.
Elias Pettersson, the center, is just very good with us in owning a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
What's been your message to him, maybe before practice today? He stayed out long Sunday. Where's your communication level with him and what you're hoping to see from him and maybe reaching him on some level?
Yeah, I think for the relationship, and you know, you can ask him. I think I have a really good relationship with the PD. I think the one thing that we've talked about, and you know, he has to own it, and we've talked about that, and I'm glad he's talked about that. There's nothing he could do in the past. There's expectations on him. Maybe he didn't deal well with it. Maybe the preparation stuff, but now he can only go forward. And the preparation now, you know, I know he's staying on the ice a lot now early. He's meeting with coaches more. He's doing the last 48 hours or 72 hours. He's doing stuff that I'm like, wow, like that's the stuff we need from you. So, you know, the way I look at it, he has a good 22 games for us. We might all forget about the 60 games or whatever, this year. I think I've seen players have just average years and then have great playoffs. And what it is, that guy that has a great playoff, you know, obviously he's signed, but that guy benefits, the team benefits, and he reaps rewards because of that. So don't waste games. Like, he's got enough time to turn this thing around and help this team get where they want to get.
Rick, why do you think that's the case for somebody who's been in the league for 7 years? To have to change, to turn that page and
That's a lot. That's a sit down for an hour, have a beer, and tell you. I can't do it right here. I have my thoughts, but it's not the right forum right now for me.
He had 0 shots on goal last game.
Yeah.
He just described himself as a pass-first player. Is that something you want to get through to him, that maybe his first option more often needs to be to be more of a shoot-first player?
Well, you know, I always tell him to look at other players. Like, the best learning tool is look at other players. Like, you know, look at Jack Eichel, you know, how he plays, or look at, you know, Sidney Crosby. I mean, these are the best of the best. You know, I know we're going to laugh, but, you know, moving your feet is something that is the oldest thing coaches say, but it is a must, because teams are good now. They swarm. There's 2 guys on you, and if you just don't move your feet, you're dead. So I think it's the same thing. You know, you got a chance to, you know, the power play, go downhill. You might have a stick in front of you and maybe one shin pad. Shoot it by it. Like, who cares? Like, nobody's going to give you the whole lane. Just shoot the puck. And you know what? Pete's got a hard shot. And I hate to say it, hurt somebody. Like, you know, if the guy wants to block it, it's got to hurt. And then maybe the next time the guy won't block it. That's the way that's the attitude you have to have.
He seems to have an appreciation that the way to get out of something like this is to work his way through it. Is that what you're talking about in terms of what you're seeing from him the last couple of days?
Just be engaged, work your way through it. Talk to your teammates on the bench. Like, tell people. I told him, you know, he told me the other day, we have a play, and he said, hey, what if we have the guy do this? And I'm like, I told him today, I said, that's what I need from you. And it was a smart play. Like, yeah, we want that. So that's engagement, and that's what we need from him. And, you know, I think he's, for me, the last 2 days has been his best 2 days since I've been here in a month, just engagement-wise. So hopefully, you know, he comes out of it for us. He's a great kid.
I got no other choice.
I'm not going to answer that question just because I don't need, you know, all of a sudden on social media being like, oh yeah, I got to make this happen. Like, I don't need that.
You told me when you go to a bar, go do push-ups in the bathroom. You told me that, then you come out, you're all pumped up.
Well, second time, can you please? I know. I see. Oh, scores.
What is your favorite hockey team?
Quinn Hughes.
Quinn Hughes is your favorite hockey team? Win this game, not lose the game.
Thanks for taking the time to come and sit down and chat with me today.
Generational talent. Thanks for liking the video and subscribing.